Hi everyone, welcome to Making It Real. Today I'm here with Kim Foster. Kim, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. This is going to be fun.
And Kim is a family physician as well as a certified business coach. She lives and works in Victoria, BC, which we were just chatting about. And really, she's passionate about wellness and is on a mission to help health coaches and wellness entrepreneurs build their businesses, and hence why I was really excited to chat with her. She's all about helping them build their business, find fulfillment, and really just make the world a healthier place. So I think you're the perfect person to chat with today, Kim. And the topic of conversation that I proposed was actually how to create programs and how to really scale your business so that you can make enough money to have it be your business. And I'm not sure if this is something that comes up a lot with your clients, Kim.
Yes, it definitely comes up a lot. Yeah, because, so creating a coaching business or, a wellness service-based business, you're doing a lot of legwork, working one-to-one with clients, and that can be amazing. Like, it's wonderful and it's rewarding, and that's what we all love to do. You get amazing results. But personally and professionally, it can be, you can for one thing, you can reach an income ceiling, and then it can be kind of exhausting, and then you're heading towards burnout. And that's definitely not why most of us create our own businesses, right? Is to totally burn out. So so there are definitely solutions to that. And there are ways to scale your business. There's ways to kind of get out of that, that just one-to-one confining thing that can be, like I said, exhausting and burnout. So, yeah.
And do you find that there's a certain indicator that should prompt okay, now it's time to create more group programs, or can someone that's just starting out create one? Because I think oftentimes we talk about scaling, but that can seem a little bit intimidating if you haven't even really started yet, or maybe you just have one or two clients. How do you know if you're ready to take that leap into more of a group coaching program?
Yeah, that's a great question, because sometimes it's hard to know, if you're actually ready. And I have to say, it's probably, it's kind of different for everybody. Like some people have no interest in doing that. Like some people are just perfectly happy, right, continuing on. And so it's not like although people do talk a lot about, scalable programs and group things, you don't have to do that if you're perfectly content, where you are. But I think that, for most of my clients, if you start to hit that point where you are either you're kind of bottlenecking your own success, like there's only so many, you've run out of hours in the day, you're kind of tapped out with private clients, you've got a long waiting list, then those are all great indicators that you should really consider like a more leveraged or scalable model, like a group program or a course. Or if there's lifestyle reasons that would dictate that you should maybe start to think about moving into that model sooner. Like if you've got little kids, for example, and you are doing all sorts of things, then starting to move into creating courses and getting more passive income and that kind of thing, so that you can sort of even out your monthly income, maybe sooner than later. It makes a ton of sense to me. So, and that works for a lot of my clients.
Yeah. And I know that you're going to show us some different ways that you can do that, and some different techniques, but perhaps even we kind of jumped ahead. What even is a group program, or group coaching or courses? Would you mind sharing a definition, so to speak, or how you consider it to be?
Yeah, good question. Okay, so I think of it as kind of, there's a lot of different things that you could do, but it's kind of anything other than that one-to-one model. So anything that is scalable. So when we say scalable, it means instead of doing one-to-one, it's one-to-many. And that can be like a group program. So you're still delivering similar or the same content, but it's to a small group of 10 people or to a group of 100 people, or whatever. That's the thing about scale, is it can be whatever number, or it can be a course where it's not even you necessarily live delivering the material. It's actually something that you've created, like a product, basically like an info product or a digital product that people can just download and go through on their own pace. That's definitely a scale, because 100 people could be going through that program, 1,000 people could be going through that program, and it doesn't require any additional effort other than what you put in to create the program, right?
And one more question before, and to put you on the spot before I let you take it away. I was just thinking, as you were talking about that and how the scale really, it doesn't matter if it's a couple people or it could be hundreds. Is there a certain kind of program or a certain number of people that you find is easier to work with? Like, are courses easier than Facebook groups versus kind of group coaching and other capacities? Like, is there a scale when it comes to like, oh, these are the easier kind of programs to run, and these are the ones that like only for the more advanced people that have more experience with it?
In terms of ease, yeah, I don't know. I think it really depends on the nature of your business. Like if you're a coach, like if that's really what you do, you like to like talk to people and work through their obstacles and barriers, then the most natural thing for you would be to do that same service, but in a group coaching format. And then you like teaching and training in a course may not really align as well with your business model. So I think it kind of depends on your business model and the kind of work that you're doing. So yeah. Okay, cool. So let me show you. I'm just going to share my screen here and we'll see about, oops, hang on a second. You let me know if you can see.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, I sort of grabbed a few different, because I've created a ton of, like for me, myself, like created loads of courses and group coaching programs and all kinds of things. And I help my clients do the same thing. So I sort of pulled out or curated a number of different tools that I use when I'm creating a new program or launching something new or whatever. So you can kind of see it from the inside or like the back end. So this is where I often start is Asana. I don't know if you've heard.
Yes, it looks like my screen because we use Asana because we have a team of consultants at Meal Garden as well. And we all sort of work remotely. And yes, we've just started using Asana. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And this is like all the free version. Like a lot of these tools I often start with the free and then upgrade because I want more functions and things, but this is still the free. And I mean, it looks a little bit, maybe it looks a little crazy.
Kind of busy there, Kim. Yeah.
Colors.
Glad you made the time for this.
It's a little busy. Yeah. But honestly, this is how I get, like people are always asking me, they're like, how do you get so much done? And this is how I get so much done because I schedule like every single thing. Like it's, Marie Forleo, she says like, if it's not on the calendar, it's not real. And I totally live by that. It's like everything has to be on my calendar or it simply doesn't happen. So then over here, this is like what I really use when I'm creating like a program. So I'll just choose like, so in my, and I can also share with like, there's my VA in there. She helps me out. So it's great, like, cause she's on my like team kind of thing inside here. So I just send over tasks and stuff to her. Anyway, so this is a course that I'm just in the middle of revamping and I'm going to be relaunching it again soon. So I've got all of my tasks here. And so I just kind of do a brain dump of all the different, because there's so many moving parts when it comes to creating a course or a program. So I just brain dump like all of the different things and then I stick them on the calendar and then I can, move them around, right? Like it's really easy to just be like, nope, I don't have enough time to do it on that day. So I'm just going to shuffle things around so that I make sure that I get it all done. And then when I get it done, I put this little like ticky box, right? So,
I love that.
I love the tick box.
Right? Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm also the kind of person that I'm always like writing things down and I always make squares so I can tick.
So I make squares. My son makes so much fun of me because I make squares and then I also cross it through.
Ooh.
Because I need both the tick and the cross. I'm like a crazy person about like, yes, I did that, scratch it, destroy it. So yeah, anyway, that's just me. So I have to have like, all my little tasks. And I always tell my clients to just break it down into the tiniest little bite-sized piece that you can. And if you're finding like something is not getting done, it's probably because you haven't broken it down into the very first step that you need to do, right? So anyway, so that is, so this is like and also the other cool thing about it is that I like, if you click into a task, then I put little attachments, like I use this little thing folder. And then, so for this, like, the other thing is Google Docs, right? I live in my Google Drive. But anyway, so this is like all of the modules, like all the links to the PDF, the worksheet, the slides, like I just kind of have it all laid out there. And that's how I create my whole curriculum and
Where do you first start making your curriculum? Is it in Asana, or do you just do it in like a doc, or do you like write it out? Like, how do you like manifest this curriculum?
Yeah. I often start writing in a doc. Like when I start just with the very first germination of an idea, I'm like, okay, I think this would be a really cool program. You know, it's often if somebody has asked me for something or whatever. Yeah. And so I just start like just brain dumping ideas. And then once I kind of get to a certain point where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to like visualize how it's all going to go, then I create a spreadsheet. And then I just kind of start mapping out like, okay, the different lessons or the different modules and then kind of, and I love color coding things.
It's so A-type. I love it. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. And then I'm sort of toggling back and forth between like my content inside Google and then my,
High level.
yeah, my tasks, like, cause then I set deadlines to things, right? So like I say, okay, I'm going to work on this piece on this day, these pieces on this day, you know, and then get it all kind of in the right order.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's how I kind of like create the thing or like map it all out and how I'm going to put all the pieces together. And then, so then when it comes time to actually like design the things, like the workbooks and not just the content material, but also like the launch material too, like the sales page and all of that stuff, then I go into my other obsession, which is Canva, obviously. Yeah. So just to show, okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is my big Canva account, but then in my folders, so this is the course that I was just showing you that I'm revamping and sort of refreshing and relaunching. So so inside my folder, this is like all the different, so I create like the workbooks, checklists, like sales pages, images, the course cover inside Thinkific, which we're going to get to in a sec. Yeah, so I'm just like kind of creating like all the things inside Canva to make it look on brand and pretty. And yeah.
Do you find that you generally need to like use Creative Market and kind of buy extra things to put into Canva, or have you found in your experiences that everything is essentially in Canva already and you can kind of make it all work without spending a lot?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a ton of things in Canva and Canva is awesome, but I often do love I use a lot of Creative Market templates and things like that and stock images. Cause I do like in Canva, there are lots of stock images and I have the pro or whatever the upgraded version of Canva is. So I do get access to a certain amount of stock images, but all like the little design elements, sometimes to search for it in Canva, I find is sometimes a little bit difficult. It's like it takes me a long time and I'm like, I don't got that kind of time. So sometimes just getting exactly what I want out of Creative Market, like the exact graphic or the exact photo or image or whatever. I love Creative Market for that. So, and it's pretty affordable too, that stuff. And then you own it, right? Then you own the rights and, and that's really nice. I like that. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So Canva. Yeah. Oh, and then what else was I going to show you guys in here? Oh yeah. And then I do all my coaching workbooks and all my stuff is in here. Like, yeah. Anyway, but that's pretty self-explanatory, I think, right? Okay. And so then this is where the real magic happens too, is Thinkific. Have you heard of Thinkific? I
have actually, when I was with Neil Garden a while back, I did a course for just professionals on how to use the software, and I made it in Thinkific and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I love Thinkific. I have just like these are all my courses in Thinkific. I have like a boatload. I'm a little bit obsessed with creating courses. I realized like it's like my favorite thing to do. And when I say courses, these are actually how I run my group coaching programs too. So, cause I create like all of the modules and content and everything can live inside Thinkific. And then that becomes like the platform, like that's sort of like the client platform for, and I actually use it for private clients too. I give them access to like courses and modules and videos and things like that. So yeah, but it's just nice. Like all of my stuff is here. So yeah, so these guys are ones that I'm kind of working on right now. And then And then I like to create bundles and things too, right? Because that's the other awesome thing about Thinkific is that you can bundle things together. Like, so this one, well, this is the one that I'm working on. This has got the 6 courses that are going to be inside it. That includes like the core course plus bonuses, which is the other really fun thing, is that you can build bonuses inside of Thinkific, which is what I do all the time. And so what was let me just show you. Like just to take a peek for people, especially if you're not familiar. So this course, Health Coach Business Blueprint. So this is where you can see, like, this is the inside of the, like, this is my dashboard for how I actually put the whole course together. So I can put, this is like the little video, like, so you can have videos, PDFs. This symbol means downloadable. So you set all of these things, right? So if you want people to have access to PDFs, you can have quizzes, you can have little surveys, you can have like pretty much everything inside. You sort of piece it together by, these are the modules. So this is like the manifestation of like my spreadsheet actually comes to life over here, right? Yeah. So yeah.
And do you often have people join all at the same time? Like if you're creating a course in Thinkific, would it be best practice to ensure like a certain day that everyone signs up and goes through it? Or is it something that's kind of more evergreen that you can have and have people sign up and pay for it? Like, how do you navigate all that?
Yeah, so inside so you can actually do either, and I've done both of those. So right here is actually the way that you can do this inside Thinkific is this drip function. So this is the curriculum, and then drip is where you see, this is where all of the pieces are inside there. And so then you can create it so that everything, so that either gets dripped out, you know what I mean by drip, right? Like one piece at a time. Yeah. So when a student enrolls, so this is like if you're creating a course that you just want them to be able to go through, then you can drip it out so that it, you know, piece 1 comes on a certain day, and then piece 2 comes in, and you can change all of these things. Like every little thing can be dripped out on either on a certain date, or if it's a student enrollment date, so then it'll be like 7 days after they enroll, 10 days after they enroll, that kind of thing. Or you can just have it all come out all at once. And so, you know, in terms of best practices, it really just entirely depends on what it is that you're creating. If you're creating a group program that everybody is going through, like you're starting on May 1st and everybody is going through it at the same time, then yeah, of course, then, you know, it just makes sense that you're going to go through it at the same time. Or if it's a course, then yeah, it can be like as they enroll in the course and get rolling with it.
Totally. Yeah, it's good to know. So what I'm hearing is basically there isn't like one right or wrong way to do it. It really does depend on the goal of the course, I guess. Like you're not one way for like, oh, you absolutely should like do it where everyone's doing it at the same time versus have it be where anyone can join at whatever time.
Yeah, in terms of for people when they're deciding what kind of course or program they want to create, it really can be like, I mean, it's your business. You can create it any way that you want. And there is no one best way. It's really best for, it all comes back to like knowing who your people are, like who is your ideal client, who's your target market, how do you like to work best, what's the nature of the content, like all of those kinds of pieces will dictate what the best way is for you, what the best format for your course. And you can do it however works best for your program. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look. So when it comes time for me to actually like sell and promote a program, I create like all of my opt-in pages and sales pages inside LeadPages, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, I haven't heard of this one. So it's a new one for me.
Oh yeah, LeadPages is my I think I've been saying that a lot. It's my favorite, but it's like choosing my children. Yeah. I know. Yeah, but let me show, what was I going to show you? Okay. So yeah, so this is like, so LeadPages is like, it initially was just for building your email list. Like it's just an opt-in page with no other bits and pieces so that people only have the choice of like opting in, right? But you can, because it's such a great builder, I create like my sales pages for my programs inside LeadPages. I was thinking about it. Yeah, so this is the sales page. So then it's like this really great like drag and drop kind of thing. Like you have all these, I'm not going to change this because I'll end up breaking my page. But you know, you can just like drag your headlines over, and buttons and like icons and all sorts of really cool, fun things. It was just like way too much fun to build your whole entire sales page inside LeadPages, in addition to like any of your opt-in pages for just lead magnets, basically, right?
And you don't have any like web development like background. You're not a
No. No, I am not a techie in any way, although, yeah, but I mean, it's all learnable and there are just so many awesome tools, right? So, yeah, and what I love about LeadPages is, so I've got all these different pages. Some of them aren't actually live or published or whatever, which is why there's this, but you can see like what kind of conversion rates you get, which is amazing information. So you can see, and then you can kind of tweak things, you can change things, you can duplicate it. And so, yeah, so I really depend on this tool for building my pages. And then email marketing, which is so key. ConvertKit is my favorite. Yeah, email
I've heard of that one, but I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, it's so powerful. Yeah, and you can do so many different things. You can create all kinds of lists and stuff, and you get all these great like details and, you know, subscribers, like, yeah. So what was I going to show you here? Oh, right. Okay. This is what I love about ConvertKit the most, in terms of, because you need an email service provider when you're launching a program, right? Like you are going to need to launch to your list or create like a funnel of emails that are going to go out to people after they've opted in to promote your program and fill your program and, you know, all that kind of thing. So that's key. So these automations, this is like the core part of ConvertKit. And so you can create these really visual, because I am very visual, and it's like this whole little algorithm that you can create. So for this one, you want to take a quick peek in here. So yeah, it's when people opt in for a particular thing, and then they get tagged with Mediterranean diet. They've expressed interest in the Mediterranean diet. So then I can like see, target that segment of my list later on if I want to. Tag it with starting the sale. And then this is like the email sequence that you can build the email sequence inside. So here are all the emails that go out like one day later, you know, and then you just see it all in front of you. It's like this master dashboard.
Yeah, the interface is really nice in here, actually.
Yeah, I know. It's
from where I am.
Yeah, I love ConvertKit. I've tried a couple of different email service providers, and this one is my favorite. So yeah. Do we have time for one more little teeny tool?
It would be rude not to. Let's finish her up. Yeah.
Okay. So of course you're like, once you've created your program, once you have like designed it, you've created all the content, you've created your sales page, you are marketing out to your list and stuff, then you also need to build up some buzz, right, with social media. So later.com is my favorite like social media scheduler. And mostly because, again, here's the theme of like visual. I like to have like this visual thing, right? So you can see this preview of like how your Instagram feed is going to turn up. And I like that feature. And then you've got your little library. Do you use Later, or have you used Later?
No, I use Planoly, which I think is similar. And yeah, and I love it because I also am really into visuals, and it's just, now I'm scared to post something without, I'm like, but how will it look on my
Is it going to mess up my aesthetic? Yeah. Yeah, totally. So yeah, so this is just another little way of, because it's no good like creating this whole thing, because it's true, like creating a group program or a course, or, you know, some kind of program, it does require a lot of work up front. So when people say passive income, I mean, it's passive. It can be once you've created the thing, right? But it's
at the beginning.
Yeah, but it's a fair bit of work. So you do need to be able to carve out some margin in your schedule, right? But once you've done that, then you definitely, of course, you need to like build buzz. You need to be talking about it. You need to be out there with it to fill your program and to, and to market it and promote it. So yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for walking us through that. That was so like applicable. I just love it. I want to create a program. I don't know what, but now I know how.
Yeah.
And Kim, you coach people, you obviously do programs. Would you mind just sharing for those watching how people can get in touch with you, what you have going on right now? Because I'm sure others would love to learn more from you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, of course, like probably the better place to find me is on my website, which is drkimfoster.com. And that's where all my stuff exists, or come and find me on Instagram, which is at drkimfoster. But in terms of what I'm doing right now, I mean, well, actually what I showed you, you guys actually just saw it, is just getting my physician referral advantage course kind of revamped and relaunched. But I do love talking to people about like building group coaching programs, like really getting yourself that freedom, that flexibility, like to get out of the one-to-one model, as we said, is awesome. But buying yourself a little bit more freedom, scalability, room for growth is an awesome thing. So I did put together, I have a workbook that can help people with those like initial planning stages. And so you can grab it at drkimfoster.com/group toolkit. It's like a toolkit of like how to price it, how to design it, like those kinds of things. So
beautiful. And I know that it's going to be very aesthetically pleasing as it is helpful. So thank you so much, Kim.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, have a great day. Bye, Kiki.